There is nothing more maddening than a general partner deadlock. Imagine the cold freeze, the grinding halt of a decision that should have been a slam dunk, now shattered by opposing voices screaming in silence. The weight on your chest, the guilt, the frustration, the absolute rage that this moment, this fork in the road, is slipping through your fingers because two forces just can't agree. You don't just feel stuck. You feel betrayed by the process, by partners you trusted, by the very future you fought tooth and nail to build. And while the world outside doesn't blink, inside you, it's a hurricane of what-ifs. What if this break ruins everything? What if this stalemate kills the deal? What if everyone walks away? What if you lose everything you've poured your soul into? You know this pain. It pierces deep, not just as founders and investors, but as leaders who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Every second of silence in that boardroom is a scream of failure. The worst part? Everyone waits. Time runs, money burns, people lose faith. Deadlocks are not just delays. They are the betrayal of momentum, the ruination of trust, the bitter taste of collapse staring at you from the edge. But here comes the savage truth. No one wants to say loud enough. Deadlocks won't vanish if you keep hoping for miracles or chasing consensus like it's a holy grail. The system expects you to freeze, to accept no deal as a final answer. It wants you to stay trapped, paralyzed, defeated. But that is not your destiny. You're not here to be shackled by indecision. You're here to break chains and build empires. So, get ready, because the fix isn't a polite chat or waiting for some magical aha moment. This battle demands ruthless clarity and brutal action. You have to carve a path through the chaos with these fierce moves or watch everything crumble. First, turn deadlock into leverage. I don't mean leverage like a buzzword. Use this moment to expose exactly what's breaking the partnership. Strip away the fake smiles, the politeness, the scripts. Call out the real blockers head first. Ideology, ego, trust issues, mismatched visions. The deadlock tells you what you've ignored. Exploit it. Don't run from the toxic parts. Dissect them in brutal honesty. Then storm back with solutions aimed not at everyone's comfort, but at breaking the gridlock. Use your understanding as your most dangerous weapon. Second, institutionalize decisive escalation. This means you establish in advance the hard rules for what happens when partners disagree. Not vague, polite processes, but a real chain of command. A matrix where deadlocks roll up to an agreed third person or panel with the power to decide right then. No more endless debates, no more delays. A forced decision framework smashes paralysis and forces action. Without it, every deadlock will become a slow death sentence. Third, kill sacred cows with a machete. Strategic sacrifices. If a partner's position is blocking progress endlessly, consider severing that link ruthlessly. This is not a friendship club, it's business. Trust is everything. But dead partners drag you down. Sometimes the only path forward is the brutal choice to cut loose those who won't bend. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's messy. But it's life or death. And your future is non-negotiable. Fourth, over-communicate everything like your life depends on it, because it does. Deadlocks thrive in ambiguity. Fear kills connection. Put every issue on the table, transparent, documented, and reckoned with. Share the fears, the stakes, the consequences unflinchingly. When everyone understands the raw cost of deadlock, they can't hide behind posturing. Communication becomes a hammer, smashing silence, fear, and ignorance. Fifth, define shared values so concrete that indecision becomes unthinkable. You're not just partners to sign contracts, you're warriors with shared code. Carve out your non-negotiables together: values, mission, vision, the true north. These act as decision accelerators when the rational debate stalls. If an option doesn't align with your core, it's cut. If it does, it's accepted. The deadlock dies because you play from unbreakable ground. And here's the secret sauce, the one most ignored. Build a culture that falls in love with conflict and hates compromise. That means your team doesn't avoid hard talks or give in to polite nodding. They fight fiercely, openly, and relentlessly for the best outcome. When conflict is a superpower and compromise seen as surrender, deadlocks lose their fuel. You transform empty arguments into power moves. Conflict turns into fusion, division into breakthrough. So stop treating deadlocks as disasters and start seeing them as moments of brutal truth. Cracks, yes, but also the chance to fracture illusions and build legendary clarity. Every time a deadlock threatens, know this: you're on the front lines of something bigger. These moments don't break you if you face them with fiery grit and unflinching strategy. Forget old myths that deadlocks mean failure. They mean raw opportunity to reveal who is truly here to forge the future, who is anchored in vision beyond ego. This is the time you sharpen your edge, the time to demand unflinching accountability, ruthless transparency, and relentless forward motion. Founders, you will learn that your vision is not negotiable, and any partner who can't align is not your partner. Investors, you will get that capital is wasted in stalemate and must be unlocked by decision engineering, not buzzwords. Obsess over designing your partnership to crush deadlocks before they strangle your mission. Leaders, you will find that trust isn't built by avoidance but by raw confrontation and sacred commitments. You must become warriors of decision flow, gatekeepers of velocity. Build systems that force clarity, fuel fierce alignment, and demand courage above comfort. Remember, the world outside seduces you with quiet compliance, with safe decay. But inside this partnership, inside this fight, you're sculpting a corner of reality where power is peace through fearless choice. Be the merciless architects who turn deadlocks into stepping stones. Because after the storm of deadlock, only one thing remains: the path forward. And that path belongs to those who choose to see stalemate not as an obstacle, but as the moment the future is won or lost. So rise, make the fire burn brighter than the fear. Smash the silence. Embrace the fight. The deadlock is not the end, it's the battle cry of becoming unstoppable.